Yes, we are going to be talking right now, as Eric just mentioned. We welcome into the show Rich Cocchiara, distinguished engineer, is CTO for Business Continuity and Resilience Services at IBM.
You know, disaster preparedness always seems to come up after an event. So we're looking for some advice from you in terms of how companies should think about disaster preparedness before the event. What's some of the activities they should do? What's some of the tips that they should be looking for?
Great point, Eric. And really, being prepared for disaster is planning well before it occurs and understanding what you've got to do to ensure that your company can survive no matter what event should come across. One of the things that I recommend to my clients all the time is make sure you've got a really good backup. Validate that data. And more importantly, get that data off-site. Too often I've seen companies who do a backup, but they keep it on site, or they transport it to a local location not too far away from their production facility. So it doesn't do a lot of good if you've got an event such as a hurricane that takes out not only your primary facility, but typically the area around it. You need to get that data someplace safe and secure. We recommend to our clients, get it out, get it somewhere far away, put it in a cloud, a safe, secure location in the cloud, make sure that you can access that data and recover it from wherever you might be.
Well, two points there, Rich. I mean, it seems, you know, you're talking about the cloud. I'm always curious, does the cloud, this era of cloud computing, make disaster recovery, disaster preparedness easier? And two, you know, it's sort of like the fire drills at schools. You know, should companies, you know, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a year be practicing for disaster?
Eric, absolutely. I think the cloud does afford our companies a lot more flexibility than they've had in the past. Typically, when you wanted to store data far away from your primary location, it was typically because you were a large company. Cloud now does is gives even small and medium-sized companies the ability to store that information far away, be able to access it from multiple different locations. Basically, small companies now have the same capability that a lot of the larger companies used to have in the past. And the other thing that you've described was testing. We absolutely recommend that companies test their disaster recovery plan several times a year to make sure it does work, because invariably things are going to go wrong and you want to make sure that you're prepared for anything that might happen.
And it seems, you know, we talked about the, you know, get your data away, but you also have to consider your employees in all this, right?
Absolutely. Too often, you know, people are always thinking about the technology, just the technology. Well, technology is not really good if you don't have the people who can run it for you or be able to access it. So your employees are absolutely critical, and you need to be thinking about your employees and what they're going to be going through during any kind of a disaster or an event.